else could see. And the way I said your name like it was part of me. I loved you without questions, without a need to know. How something felt so certain could still be fragile, though. I never needed promises, I never needed proof. I just needed honesty and time alone with you. I loved you in the quiet, in the spaces between words, in the pauses of your breathing, when silence still felt heard. I loved you without shouting, without demanding truth. I loved you in the quiet, and I still do. I learned your every rhythm, your sadness and your calm, the way you smiled like you were fine when you were falling apart. I stayed when it was easier to turn my heart away. I believed love was patient, not something you outgrew one day. I didn't ask you to save me, I didn't ask you to stay. I just asked you not to leave like love was temporary. I loved you in the quiet, where hope was soft and thin, where I forgave your distance before it could begin. I loved you without armor, without knowing what I'd lose. I loved you in the quiet, that's the truth. Maybe loving quietly is loving the most real, because it asks for nothing and still knows how to feel. I loved you in the quiet, even after you were gone, and the way my heart still reaches when it hears our song. If love ever finds you lonely, if you don't know what to do, remember I loved you in the quiet, I still do. Still in the quiet. I was almost chosen, almost enough, almost the reason. You didn't give up, you looked at me like maybe, like I was close. But almost loved is the hardest kind to hold. You said you cared, but not enough to stay. I was almost chosen, almost your home, almost the one you didn't want to lose. I was almost chosen, and that hurts the most, because you saw you just didn't choose. I felt it in your hesitation, in the way you'd pull away, in the way you loved me gently, but never all the way. I just wish you were brave. I was almost chosen, almost your life, almost the one you'd call mine. I was almost chosen, and I tried to pretend that almost loving me was better than the end. Some people don't leave you, they just don't stay. I was almost chosen, and now I let it go. I won't stay where love can fully grow. I was almost chosen, and now I see I deserve a love that chooses me. Not almost, but fully. Covered for your absence, I explained your every flaw. I told myself your silence didn't mean you didn't care at all. I gave you all my patience, I gave you room to grow while I was standing in the dark, afraid to let you go. I loved you like a promise, you loved me like a pause. I gave you grace, you gave me goodbye. I stayed when you stopped trying. I believed in what we were while you were already deciding. I gave you grace, you gave me goodbye, and called it honesty. But love shouldn't feel like waiting to be left eventually. You in private, I protected you in public. I learned how to swallow pain just to keep our love from breaking. You said you needed space, but space turned into the end. I lost myself forgiving you again and again. I thought love meant understanding, even when it hurts. I gave you grace, you gave me goodbye. You took all I had inside, kept choosing us over me until I couldn't survive. I gave you grace, you gave me goodbye, and walked away clean, while I'm left learning how to live with everything you took from me. One day you'll miss the way I stayed when loving you wasn't easy. But by then I'll be gone and loving myself completely. I gave you grace, you gave me goodbye, but I don't regret my heart. I loved honestly and deeply, even when you fell apart. This is me choosing in me. Ooh. just got quiet when your eyes stopped looking for mine. I stayed when love felt fragile, like it was running out of time. I told myself you were tired, I told myself this was a phase. But love shouldn't feel like guessing or counting all the ways you've changed. I bent until I almost broke just to keep us breathing. I stayed longer than your love, I held on when you were gone. I kept believing in a feeling you had already moved on from. I stayed longer than your love, and now I finally see sometimes staying hurts you more than learning how to leave. I learned the sound of your silence, I memorized your distance well. I learned to smile through conversations where I felt invisible. You said don't take it personal, but love is personal to me. If I mattered like I loved you, you wouldn't make it so hard to be. I'll stay longer than your love when it stopped feeling like home. I waited for you to come back while I was already alone. I'll stay longer than your love, and that's my truth tonight. I lost myself trying to save what you didn't find. One day you'll miss the way I stayed when leaving was easier, but I won't be here anymore. I stayed longer than your love, but I won't stay broken too. I stay longer than your love, but I won't stay broken too. I stayed when you went quiet, when your eyes stopped meeting mine. I stayed through all the meters, you dressed up was just time. I made excuses for your distance, called it space, called it fear. But love shouldn't feel like guessing. You're someone once you hear. I was fighting for us while you were letting go. I stayed longer than you did, loved harder than you knew. I held on to the future, but you were halfway through. I stayed longer than you did, and I don't say that proud. I just wish you'd left earlier instead of fading now. I kept my voice calm and patient, my head fell apart. I kept believing effort could fix a drifting heart. I didn't need perfection, I just needed truth. But you gave me your silence, and regret the living, I regret the way. Oh, I stayed longer than you did, for doubting lonely nights, through loving someone who wasn't sure if I was worth the fight. Oh, I stayed longer than you did, because I believed good love meant staying present and slowly learning to leave. If loving till I chose my mistake, then I'll make it again. I just won't do it for someone halfway in. I stayed longer than you did, and now I finally see love shouldn't feel like proving why someone should choose me. I stayed longer than you did, and now I'm letting go of the version of me that begged you to grow. Waited where love left me, right where you said goodbye. I didn't chase the reasons, I didn't ask you why. I let the world keep turning while I stay the same, because some hearts don't move on fast when love walks away. I waited when love left me, not because I was weak, but because my heart believed in what you promised me. I waited when love left me, through seasons and regret. I didn't wait forever, but I haven't left yet. I learned how to smile politely, learned how to say I'm fine, but hope has its own language and it speaks in time. I loved you without conditions, without needing control. I just didn't know love could leave me whole. They say wait and waste your life, but love taught me patience. I waited when love left me, through doubt and fear, through nights I almost gave up and days that disappeared. I waited when love left me, and maybe that's okay, because loving you was never a mistake. If you ever walk back slowly, if your heart still knows my name, you'll find me stronger than before, but loving you the same. I waited where love left me. I don't call anymore, I don't cross the line. To loving you quietly still feels like mine. I just make the space where your heart needs to be. But distance doesn't stop love, it just changes how it breathes. I love you from a distance, without asking you to stay, without turning my feelings into something in your way. I love you from a distance, soft, honest, and true. I don't need to be beside you to love you. I don't need your attention, I don't need your reply. I just need to be faithful to what I feel inside. If your life feels light enough without me in the frame, then I'll carry the weight alone and never say your name. Love doesn't always mean being close. I love you from a distance. Your songs are quite nice. To letting go of outcomes and holding on to what's right. I love you from a distance, and finally let you be. Because loving you should never cost you peace. If love ever circles back, if your heart feels unsure, you'll know where to find me. Still gentle, still sure. I love you from a distance until love sets me free, until missing you stops missing me. I love you from a distance, and that's okay, because real love doesn't fade. From a distance to loving you wasn't loud, it didn't break the room. It lived in little moments, like the way you said my name too soon. It wasn't fireworks or flames, it was candlelight and truth. I didn't need the world to see, I just needed you. I loved you in the pauses between your breath and doubt. Some loves don't shout, they stay quiet. Loving you wasn't loud, it didn't beg or scream. It rested in your silence and trusted what we'd be. Loving you wasn't loud, but it was deep and real. And just because you left it quiet doesn't mean I didn't feel. I held you when you questioned if you were enough. I loved you when you pulled away and called it being tough. I learned your every rhythm, your fears you wouldn't say. I loved you when you were present, and when you slipped away, I didn't need a promise, I didn't need your plans, I just needed you to stay and take my hand. Loving you wasn't loud, it didn't need a name, it didn't ask for certainty or play a waiting game. Loving you wasn't loud, but it never lied. It stayed even when you changed, and I stayed when you tried. I stayed. I don't regret the loving, even though it hurts. I don't regret the patience or putting you first. Some people love for comfort, some people love to win. I loved you just to love you without knowing how it ended. If loving quietly means loving alone, then I'll carry that truth as my own. Loving you wasn't loud, but it was strong and sure. It didn't come with conditions, it didn't need applause. Loving you wasn't loud, but it changed my life, because it taught my heart how to love right. Maybe you needed noise to know something was real, but I was loving you in ways you couldn't feel. I didn't know love had to hurt to be seen. I just loved you honestly. Loving you wasn't loud, and that's okay. Some of the deepest loves aren't built to stay. Loving you wasn't loud, but it was true. And even in the silence, I loved you. Quietly, I still do. I packed my things, I changed my number, learned how to sleep alone at night. I told myself I'd be okay if I just gave it time. But every street still knows your footsteps, every song still sounds like you. I moved my body forward, but my heart didn't move too. They say leaving is surviving, but staying hurts the same, because some parts of love don't listen when you tell them. Change my heart, stay where you left it. In the space we said goodbye, you walked away and took the future. I stay with all the wise. My heart, stay where you left it, and I don't know how to retrieve the part of me that still believes you'll come back for me. I tried loving someone new, but it felt like wearing someone else's skin. They touched me like I was present, but I wasn't really in. I don't miss the fights or chaos, I miss the way we breathe. Like the world disappeared when you were close to me. I don't ask the universe for answers, I just ask it to be kind, because loving you rewired me in ways I can't distance, and I gave you room. My heart stayed where you left it, learning how to ache in peace. Still loving you in silence, like that's all I'm allowed to be. Still here, still here. I don't hate you for leaving, I hate that I understand that you were fighting battles I couldn't hold in my hands. I loved you without armor, without keeping score. I didn't know love like that could still end in a door. If you ever feel the weight of what you chose to lose, just know my heart remembers, even when you don't. My heart stay where you left it, not because I'm weak, but because loving you was deeper than I knew how to speak. My heart stay where you left it, and maybe someday you'll see the love you walked away from is still living inside me. I don't wait by the phone, I don't chase your name, but if love ever circles back, I'll still feel the same. I learned how to live without you, but not how to unfeel, because broken hearts don't shatter, they just kneel. My heart stayed where you left it, and now I let it rest. I won't beg you to return, but I loved you my best. My heart stayed where you left it, and if love ever lets you see, you'll know where to find the best of me. Where you left it. You stood there in the doorway, like you wanted to say more. Your hand shook on the handle, like your heart was at war. You looked at me like maybe you were about to change, but love doesn't need almost, and you almost stayed. The way you almost stayed still lives inside my chest, like a sentence unfinished, like a love unconfessed. The way you almost stayed hurts more than goodbye, because I saw the truth in your eyes. I replay that second endlessly, the breath before you turned, the moment hope caught fire, then immediately burned. If love had one more heartbeat, one more honest try, we wouldn't be strangers passing by. still stays with me. We were almost something sacred, almost written in the stars, almost laughing in the kitchen, almost healing all our scars. You said we'll see what happens. I said I'm not scared to try. I didn't know almost forever was just another goodbye. Almost forever still hurts the same as knowing you were never mine. Almost loving you broke my heart, just slower over time. Almost forever was still goodbye, still tears I had to cry. Almost was enough for you, but it ruined my life. I loved you in the quiet moments, in the spaces you didn't fill. I loved you in the uncertainty, when I shouldn't have stayed still. You kept me right beside you, but never let me in. I was close enough to feel your heart, but never close to win. If love is timing, then ours was late. Almost forever was still goodbye, and I'm learning to survive. Almost forever was still goodbye, and I'm learning to survive. I saw you smile in someone else's story, like my name was never there. Like the nights we talked till morning were too light to carry. I still hear your voice in silence, still feel you when I breathe. You moved on like it was nothing. I'm still learning how to sleep. I tell myself you're human, that love fades in different ways. But why am I still bleeding from words you forgot to say? You forgot me faster than I could heal, like loving me was never real. I'm still counting all the pieces you already let go of. You forgot me faster than I could heal, while I'm drowning in what I feel. You walked away like it was easy. I stayed broken from your love. I replay all the conversations, looking for the moment we changed, trying to find a second where you stop feeling the same. I would've fought for us forever if you had just asked me to, but you left without a warning, like I was nothing to lose. You said time would make it better, but time just made it clear. You forgot me faster than I could heal, while I'm still calling your name. I carry you in every memory. You don't even feel the same. You forgot me faster than I could heal, and that truth cuts the deepest part. I was learning how to live without you. You were already free from my heart. Don't blame me for surviving. I just wish I mattered more. I wish I wasn't something you could walk away from before. You forgot me faster than I could heal, but I won't forget who I was. I loved you honestly and deeply, even when it hurt too much. I'm still Well, you're already gone. You love me like a season, like something passing through. You held me like a promise you never meant to keep true. You said my name so gently, like it mattered back then. But love that's scared of staying always knows how to end. I felt you pulling away before you said a word. Some hearts leave quietly so they don't have to hurt. You love me, then you let me go, like that was always the plan. You made me feel unforgettable, then forgot who I am. You love me, then you let me go when I needed you most. Now I'm loving the memory of someone I almost lost. I replay every moment, looking for where we changed, where loving me became heavy and leaving felt easier to say. I stayed soft when you grew distant, I stayed when you went cold. I didn't know loving deeply could feel this disposable. I thought love meant choosing, even when it gets hard. You love me, then you let me go, like love was temporary, like I was just a chapter in a story you wouldn't carry. You love me, then you let me go, and I stayed far too long, trying to understand you're leaving instead of moving on. Maybe you weren't lying, maybe you meant every word. You just didn't know how to love me without feeling hurt. You love me, then you let me go, and that's the part that stays. Not that you left my life, but how easily you walked away. You love me, then you let me go. Now I'm learning to grow from the love I gave you and the heart you couldn't hold. You love me, then you let me go. like that would change the past. But every room still knows your shape, every shadow lasts. I filled my days with busy noise, tried sleeping with the light, but loneliness remembers you best in the middle of the night. Your absence feels like home, like somewhere I've been before, a place I didn't choose to stay, but still know every door. Your absence feels like home, and I don't know what that means, when missing you feels safer than loving anything. I stopped expecting messages, stopped checking every sound, but my heart still listens carefully, like you're walking back around. I learned how to survive alone, but not how not to care. Some loves don't leave your system, they just learn to live there. I don't cry like I used to, but the ache still stays. Your absence feels like home, like silence that understands, like learning how to be alone without letting go of hands. Your absence feels like home, and it hurts to say it's true, because home was never lonely until it wasn't you. If you ever feel displaced, like you don't know where you belong, just know my heart remembers you, even now that we're gone. Your absence feels like home.